The Selfish Giant. Every afternoon after school, a group of children went to play in a beautiful garden. The garden was full of soft green grass, colorful flowers, and lovely fruit trees. Birds sang happily in the branches, and the children enjoyed spending their time here. One day, the owner of the garden, a giant, returned home after being away for many years. When he saw the children playing, he became really angry. "What are you doing in my garden?" he shouted. "This is my garden. Nobody is allowed to play here." The frightened children quickly ran away. The giant built a high wall around his garden and placed a large sign on the gate. "Trespassers will be prosecuted." Now the children had nowhere beautiful to play. They missed the lovely garden very much. Soon, spring arrived everywhere except in the giant's garden. Outside the wall, flowers bloomed, birds sang, and the trees became green again. But inside the garden, it was still winter. Snow covered in grass, frost painted the trees white, and the cold north wind blew every day. The birds refused to sing there because there were no children, and the trees had forgot how to blossom. The giant was surprised. "I don't understand why spring is so late," he said. But spring never came. Neither did summer or fall. Only winter stayed in the garden. One morning, the giant heard beautiful birds singing. He looked out for the window and saw something wonderful. The children had found a small hole in the wall and quietly entered again. They were sitting in the branches of the trees. The trees were covered with flowers again, the birds were singing, the grass was green. Surprisingly, the spring had finally returned. However, in one corner of the garden, there was still winter. A very small boy was standing under a tree. He was too little to climb into its branches. The tree wanted to help him, but it could not bend low enough. The little boy looked very sad. When the giant saw his heart change. "How selfish I have been," he said softly. "Now I know why spring would not come." He walked quietly into the garden. The children were afraid and ran away, and winter returned immediately. But the little boy was too small that he did not see the giant. The giant gently picked him up and placed him into the tree. At once, the tree burst into beautiful white blossoms. The birds began singing again. The little boy smiled at the giant and kissed him on the cheek. The other children saw that the giant was kind now, so they returned. The giant knocked down the wall around the garden. "From today," he said, "this garden belongs to all of you." Every afternoon, the children came to play. The garden became their happiest place in the town. The giant loved watching the children laugh and play. He realized that sharing brings much more happiness than keeping everything for yourself. Years passed. The giant grew old. He often looked for the little boy who had first changed his heart, but no one knew where he had gone. Then, one winter morning, the giant looked outside and saw the little boy standing beneath the tree covered with white flowers. The giant hurried to him. When he came closer, he noticed marks on the boy's hands and feet. "Who hurt you?" the giant asked sadly. The boy smiled. "These are the wounds of love." The giant understood that this child was very special. The little boy said, "You once let me play in your garden. Today you shall come with me to my garden, which is paradise." That afternoon, the children found the giant lying peacefully beneath the tree covered with white flowers. His face was calm and happy.